Hello everyone, it's Gnarlo here. Welcome back to my quest to play a board game a week out of some of the ones that have been sitting on my shelves here. Now, I'm about 2 weeks behind. There's been a lot of stuff going on between work and home. I think I expressed a bunch of that in the State of the Channel video, so I won't be going back through that. But I'm trying to play catch up a little bit here, so I'm going to pull this one out. This is Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. Game I'm a little bit behind on. Actually, I'm a little bit behind on Gloomhaven, period. This right here is it's kind of an introductory version of Gloomhaven, kind of a beginner's version of Gloomhaven that came out last year. And it's a kind of as I said, a beginner's version. It's got a scenario system where, like, the first 4 or 5 scenarios, they walk you through how to play the game, because the game's got quite a bit of different mechanisms going on with it, with the card builder type of mechanism where you use the cards to decide what your character is going to do and what his powers are and his actions every turn. Keeping combat straight with all the different monsters and all that you can be fighting against, the quest system. And it walks you through, so that you don't have to try and learn everything all at once. So that's what we're going to do here. And as I said, this is the little brother of it. But this isn't by any means a small game. I mean, as you see here, this is quite a thick box, for quite a thick, very full box here for what you have. I mean, I've got an entire full counter tray here where I poked out 3 sheets of counters, and there's still, let's see here, that's 3 sheets of counters. There's still plenty of counters left on there, and a couple of counter sheets full of monsters that I haven't even punched yet. So it's by no means a small game. I mean, you see how big this game is. Now, it's small in comparison to its big brother up here, Gloomhaven, the full game, which has been sitting on my shelf up there for about, a year and a half, 2 years now. It's a matter of shame for me that I haven't been able to get back to it. And I'll pick that up. I've got a call from the wife. So yeah, before my phone call, what I was saying was that the full Gloomhaven game has been sitting up there for about a year and a half now, maybe 2 years. It was a gift from my friend Mindfiend for Christmas one year. And I told him, as part of my accepting such an overly generous gift, was that he was going to have to play it with me. And we've just never managed to find the time. It's not been an opportunity to do so. So I haven't learned the rules for it, and they are quite complex. Once you get them down, they're okay, but they're quite complex to learn. So that's why we're happy we have Jaws of the Lion here. And Jaws of the Lion is going to walk us through the learning process of learning how to play the Gloomhaven game. All right. One of the things is that Gloomhaven, the full version up there, has, I think, 16 characters you can play, 16 different character classes, and then you unlock more as you go along. I believe that's correct. Red text will let me know if I'm wrong. Jaws of the Lion starts you out with 4, and there are 4 different ones from Gloomhaven, but they start you out with 4, so your choices are a lot easier to choose from. You have, let's see, the Void Walker, I think, and in fact, they're all right here. On the desk, on the table at the inn where you're all meeting up. I'm going to get the quick start guide here. I've currently misplaced my quick start guide. It comes with a full color quick start guide, just like the rules. I took it to work in my backpack and was going to see if I could learn the rules and all, because this came out back in, I think, June or July of last summer. 2020, and I had time to thumb through it, but never really had time to sit down and read through the first section. And I don't know where I put it. It's either on a bookshelf around here, or it's out in my garage, or what I think has probably happened to it is probably in my locker at work. So I need to see if I can find it. So I just printed out the black and white copy from the PDF. So you got the Demolitionist, your 4 characters. The Demolitionist, who is the guy who's in love with explosions, and he's got his powerful exploding fist gun crusher thingies. So you see that sitting there, his big power fist rocket launcher thingies. You've got the red guard, which is protection and monster manipulation, and he is represented by his sickle here hooked up to a chain. I guess so he can, do his Sub-Zero. Get over here. And grab onto him and pull them around. Then you had the hatchet, who is range damage and looting, represented by his hatchet. And the Void Warren, which is healing and support, represented by her staff there. So those are the four character types that you could choose from. And in this particular scenario, the one that we're going to be starting off with, I have decided to play the Demolitionist, so we can have some combat ability, and the Void Warden. I decided we'd go with some healing. And there's 2 more boxes in the game over here, 2 more boxes just like this that have, these are the boxes that had the figures in them. And they're just like the ones in Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven also comes with the little boxes, and then the boxes that have all the cards and everything in them. So let's go ahead and dump them out. Here is the Void Warden. I am going to have so much fun painting these. The Void Warden, which is your healer, but a healer with a twist. It's you can't call upon the powers of the void without some prices to pay for it, without there being a cost for the power. Think of Black Metal, Full Metal Alchemist. I don't know if that's the a truly 1-to-1 ratio, a true what it is, but they do say that it comes with a bit of a cost. So I don't know if that's a true analogy to do the Full Metal Alchemist, but those of y'all familiar with the anime. And as always, I'm always apologizing for the state of my hands. As I said, I've got these little scars and cuts and bites all over them. We are working at teaching. I've talked about Juliet, my new little dog. We've talked about all her training and potty training. The other part of training is teaching her not to bite on people. She's got all those razor sharp little puppy teeth. Oh my God, she just, ugh. So yeah, I've got lots and lots of scarring. And here's the Demolitionist. Demolitionist is a short little dude, almost like a halfling or something. And you see those big explosive things like rocket launcher, combination between that and like a power glove, power fist type thing. So yeah, those are our 2 characters. As you see, he's a good deal shorter than the Voidwalker is. This Voidwalker is, I guess, kind of our elf equivalent. And then that, along with that, are the 2 boxes I haven't opened yet. This is the one for the Voidwalker. Let's go ahead and pop it open and dump out what's in it. Everything is still nicely sealed inside. All right, let me open this box a little bit wider. There we go. Is that everything in the box? That is everything down in the box. Very good. All right, I'll toss that to the side. Here you have your character sheet. It's a human Void Warden. And as you see, you can play through it. They give you enough character sheets. You can play through it several times. So I'm still wanting to play this with Mind Fiend. I'm still wanting to play this with you and learn the rules and all. So you got your character sheet where everything is going to change. This is like a legacy game, if y'all ever heard legacy games. There's Pandemic Legacy, Risk Legacy. Gloomhaven is one of the most popular legacy games as well. Remember, Gloomhaven itself, the big box up there, is #1 on Board Game Geek. Voted, ranked #1 game. And remember, this is not necessarily, it's partially a reflection of the quality of the game. It's also partially a reflection of how hot the game is and how much people like it. It's got a lot to do with it's a personality contest as well. How much do people enjoy the game and like the game? So do you really say that of all the games that have ever been made since the creation of time, that Gloomhaven is the best of all the games that have ever been made? Well, no, but right now at this slice in time for the last 2 or 3 years, it has occupied enough people who play Gloomhaven and who vote for these things have decided that it is their number one game, that in the ratings it is at the top, and that's how you get to it, is by doing that. So but this is, I think I'm wanting to say this is like in the top 100 itself. Is Gloomhaven, the Jaws of the Lion? I believe it's in the top 100 also. So you've got the character sheet that will eventually fill out as we play from game to game. Here's the Void Warden. Oh, this is going to be fun to paint. The Void Warden player mat, and your hit points and all that stuff down there, and information on the Void Warden. Humans are by far the most dominant species of the races, spreading across the continent like locusts, erecting extravagant cities and disturbing slumbering forces they can never hope to understand. The human society is one of rules and regulations, but also one of great diversity. Due to their intense curiosity and relentless nature, humans can find themselves walking almost any path imaginable, from the obscenely wealthy noble to the unappreciated tavern cook, from the blacksmith forging rugged weaponry to the corrupted pursuant of dark magics. The void is a dangerous and terrible place. Anything that enters it dissolves into a coarse black sand without explanation or remorse. After a near-death experience with the void as a child, which scarred the left side of their body. Oh, so my Full Metal Alchemist, you see, yeah, look at the left side of their body, which is all charred and blackened there. My Full Metal Alchemist analogy was a little bit more on target than I was thinking. So, after a near-death experience with the void as a child, which scarred the left side of their body, the Void Warden made it their duty to protect others from a similar fate. Being touched by the void has left more than just physical scars, however. They can channel the power behind the void to manipulate the thoughts and actions of both allies and foes. The Void Warden can also offer powerful boons of healing and stamina, but these gifts usually come at a terrible price. Okay, fantastic. Female? Female, maybe? Is that boob plate? I'm thinking that's boob plate. Awful androgynous for a human. It's for a fantasy human, let's say. I'm not going to get into real world gender politics and stuff like that. But very for a fantasy world, that's very androgynous. It looks almost elf-like. So I think that's boob plate. I think that's a she. Okay. I'm not sure how they identify. They can identify any way that they want to. But that little piece of plastic, I believe, identifies as a she. So do not open this pack of cards until this character reaches level 5. As I said, it walks you through stuff. We've got another one. Do not open this pack of cards until you're directed to told so. To do so, this is your attack modifiers. These are basically modifiers to your dice, your deck, which works as your dice. Like I said, this is a deck builder type of thing where you will be trying to add cards that will increase your abilities and get rid of old bad abilities, and then you will also do these modifiers so that nothing is ever a sure thing. And then we've got some tokens there as well, which I'm not really sure what that is. All right, I'm going to set these to the side, and then I'm going to open up and show you the Demolitionist, and we'll read his flavor text. Or her flavor text. Okay, so I've dumped out the Quattro Demolitionist, and just like the Void Warden over here, they had their own 2 decks that said do not open, so they are put back in the boxes as well. Such a picture. Yeah, I am definitely going to be painting these and having a good time with them. I'm not going to be able to get the level of detail I think you see with the little hearts and everything on it and the little polka dots on the kerchief, but it's still going to be a fun little thing to paint. It looks like those. It looks like they say goodbye maybe on the front. Like, see that BYE? I bet that one says good, or maybe it says bye bye. Can you see that? Does it say? I bet it says bye bye. So there's the Demolitionist. Let's take a look at what it says. A quattrille demolitionist. Because of their diminutive size, quattrilles feel they have a lot to prove. From an early age, they are encouraged to study as much as possible about many different subjects. Though they are expert quattrilles in any field, they seem to have a particular affinity to engineering and machinery. So they're kind of like gnomes more than halflings, let's say. The classic tinker gnome that you see in stuff like Dungeons and Dragons and EverQuest. Their long, delicate fingers allow them to build all manner of intricate contraptions to make life easier and augment their inferior physical strength. Though they are not numerous, quattrilles can easily integrate themselves into any society due to their expert and critical fields and their charming, graceful demeanor. Only a fool would shun a quattrille's offer to help. Even when augmenting themselves with machines of their own creation to destroy anything that stands in their path, quattrilles will still do it with charm and flair. Though they may be small, demolitionists don't let that hold them back in the least. Between their rocket boots, multitude of bombs, and giant piston fists, they are a force to be reckoned with. Sometimes the only path forward is the one they create themselves. In such cases, it is best just to get out of their way. Indeed. Oh, rocket boots. Okay, so that sucker might be able to jump over obstacles and stuff. I don't know, but maybe that'll be something that we get to do later on as we get through these first few scenarios and stuff. All right, I am going to finish setting up all this stuff, and then we will get to the information on the first scenario. And I will get it all set up, read the flavor text to you, and then we will progress on into learning how to play this game. I just wanted to clarify that this right here, this big board here, is the actual game map from the full Gloomhaven game itself. As you see, the Gloomhaven city takes just this little square right here in the middle of all the lands that you can travel to. And in fact, they've got an inset over here which shows the different areas in Gloomhaven City. Everything from the Gloomhaven Square and the New Docks and the Coin District, which I imagine where all the bankers and everything live, all the way down here to the Sinking Market and the Bowlers District, which is down here, I'm sure, where all the poor people live. So as you can see, all the different numbers on the map, and my God, there are a bunch of them. You can travel. Once again, this is, as I say, a legacy game. As you travel around, you put stickers on the map to show where you've gone and where you can go and all this other stuff. And there's a bunch in town itself and then out all over the world. The Jaws of the Lion takes place in this very nice full-color map of Gloomhaven itself here. As you see, no numbers or anything. There is a numbering coordinate system around the outside. A2, B4, C3.
J10. Oh, you struggling battleship.
So that's where you put the stickers on, and very nice. Over here in the Coin District, as I said, where all the rich people live, and then over here in the Bowler District and the Sunken Docks, where I'm sure all the poor people live. So that's going to be the game map that we're going to be sticking the labels and everything on as we go through our playthrough here. But I wanted to say, yeah, this right here is the map from the actual full-size game to show you the scope of the two areas that you're going to play in. We're probably, I don't know, there may be adventures that take place outside of Gloomhaven, but it looks like just from the map that the majority of our adventures here in Jaws of the Lion will take place just inside the city of Gloomhaven proper there. So we'll see here, and let's read the flavor text for the first scenario. It will be good to get back to the Sleeping Lion. After a fortnight of going up and down the Still River, chasing a bad lead on a missing blacksmith, you can almost feel the warmth of the inn's hearth when Gloomhaven's walls come into view. You are almost home. To be fair, it's not just the blacksmith. An alarming number of people in the poorer districts of the city have gone missing. Usually nothing comes of it, though. Just another poor soul forgotten out here on the edge of civilization. The blacksmith's wife, Sandy, however, managed to scrape enough money together to hire you to find her husband. You're not sure where the money came from, but no matter the source, it couldn't have been easy, which makes it doubly painful to return to the city empty-handed. True, Sandy was a little light on the payment, but you are the Jaws of the Lion, one of the most well-known mercenary groups in this backwater dump of a town. Surely it can't hurt to take a charity case every once in a while. Getting good jobs is about maintaining a reputation, after all. Which is why you really need to get to the bottom of this and not return to the widow with nothing but the calluses on your feet. Also, you probably shouldn't call her a widow to her face, at least not until the fate of the blacksmith has been confirmed. Given, however, that none of those who disappeared have returned, the outlook is grim. As these cheery thoughts pass through your mind, you notice movement up ahead and immediately draw your weapon. The sun has dipped low in the sky, reducing visibility, but you can clearly see some ramshackle wooden barricades blocking the road in front of you. And sure enough, as you cautiously approach the scene, vermlings jump out from behind the obstructions, flashing crude swords and sharp sticks. Vermlings are kind of the rat people of the Gloomhaven world. You have to admit you are quite tired from a day's journey, but still, these oversized rats certainly picked the wrong group of travelers to ambush today. You are the Jaws of the Lion, after all, and are always ready to show that there is one outcome for anyone who dares threaten you. All right, rewards. New location, roadside ambush 1. And that's right here. We've read the flavor text. Rewards. Every adventure, like even the flavor text here, has a reward. You have a new location, roadside ambush 1 and B1. I think the 1 there means that you get 1 coin, and B1 tells you what sticker to put on the map. If you haven't yet, read the first section of the Learn to Play guide before continuing on to Scenario 1. All right. So I'm going to get everything set up, ready to go here. Oh, we'll go ahead and show you Scenario 1, 2, the scenario book. This is also a big difference between Jaws of the Lion and Gloomhaven. The full Gloomhaven up there, the map comes with map in tile sections that you have to assemble as you go along. You look at the scenario, you bring out all the tile sections and you put them together, snap them, snap the cardboard tabs and stuff like that, lay the tiles next to each other. This comes with a scenario book. You no longer have to put stuff together. Everything is set out. This is wonderful. I hope they do a Kickstarter, and I'm not the only one that hopes that they do a Kickstarter to turn all of the Gloomhaven scenarios into giant books like that. So, as you see, we've got some barricades, and I'm showing you this. There are some obstacles like these rocks here and these palisades that you can't cross. The demolitionist has a chance of destroying them, but you can't actually cross them. And I'm going to go over there right now and show you what's cooking in the 3D printer over there in its case. All right, we've gotten inside the enclosure. I've unzipped it in here. As you see, this has been running for right at 30 minutes now, and it's running on I think it was a 9-hour print, maybe a 10-hour print is what the total. You see, as always, I'm laying down PLA plastic, so the nozzle down there is at 200 degrees Celsius, and the bed itself, this glass bed, is at 50 degrees. A little warm, not warm enough to burn you, but you wouldn't want to keep your hand on it too long. Also because you wouldn't want to leave your oily little fingerprints all over it. I have to clean it off so that the plastic will stick. But as you see, I am cooking here, some laying down plastic. I've got 2 obstacles, 2 of the 2 palisades that are going to print out, and then rocks, and then destroyed versions. This is destroyed palisades and destroyed rocks in case the demolitionist. So I've got 2 of the 2 long palisades, I've got 2 of the boulders, and then I've got 4 destroyed palisades, which take up 1 hex, and 2 destroyed boulders. And that's going to take, like I said, roughly about 9.5, 10 hours there to print it. So whenever I actually get around to probably gameplay tomorrow, because I'm headed to work here in just a few, I've got about another 2 hours to go before I go to work. And I've still got to shower and then go play with the dogs and take them for a walk and all that kind of stuff. So we won't be playing today, but when I come back in the morning, these will be fully printed, hopefully. Never, with 3D printing, you can't ever say anything's a sure thing because everything can always goof up. But hopefully those will be fully printed, and I'll throw a little base coat. I'm not going to be able to paint them up to even tabletop specifications, but I'll throw a little priming and a little base coat on them, and they will be in the game. As opposed to the little flat. And I'll show the little flat. You saw them on the board there, the little palisade areas. It's got plenty of perfectly fine artwork, but I like, and we talked before how I like cleaning stuff up. All right, so next time I talk to you, I will have everything set up, and we will be ready to get going with our game here. All right, folks, we are putting our first sticker. You remember the new location, Roadside Ambush 1, which was the right here at the end of the scenario where you are. That's our reward. Is that we've got that. So it says you per start, you've noticed this in the scenario book. This means to take that first sticker from the sticker sheet labeled Roadside Ambush and place it in the B1 square of the city map board so that the artwork lines up. And as it says, these stickers are permanent. If you would prefer not to make permanent changes to your game, feel free to ignore them and track which scenarios are available to you in some other way, like just writing it down on a sheet of paper. That is fine too. The city map board is a way to see which scenarios are available for you to play. At the moment, only scenario 1 is available, but as you progress through the campaign, more choices will open up. Set the city map board to the side for now, though. And then it talks about working through the various characters and getting out what you need. It says playing by yourself. If you are playing the game by yourself, you will need to control 2 separate characters. Take note that this is a more complex experience. If there are 2 to 4 players, it's highly recommended that each player only controls a single character. Indeed. Okay, I'm used to double-handing games because I play a lot of things solo. I'm used to playing both sides by myself too. So I am going to take this sticker off here. You see? Go ahead and peel it off. These first 4 or 5 I'll probably put on the map. Definitely this first one because, hey, there's nothing else that you do. Let's see if I can get that lined up perfectly here. Can I do all this with one hand? There we are. Roadside Ambush. So as you see, we're coming back into town and the roadside ambush takes place. And as you see the palisades and everything. So that's going to get us set up for scenario 1. I'm going to go through the rest of the rules here, get everything set out the way it needs to be, get all the cards for the characters, the demolitionist and the void warden there out, and get the cards that they need for this first scenario ready to go. And then we'll get back to you and we'll get things going here.